this weekend and tonight, and you are all here because either by birth or by life circumstances, you are all extremely important to Gay and myself. You know, this is, to us, a very, very select group of very special people. So thank you for coming and spending some time with us. I do want to take a second. I talked to Mom this afternoon, and most all of you know Mom Plune, and she's still doing wonderfully. She had a birthday, 3 weeks ago. She's 98. She spent 4 straight days celebrating every day, and her celebrations always include either a glass, maybe 2 of wine, or a glass of scotch. But at 98, she can do what the hell she wants to. And she's in great shape. Her mind is absolutely fantastic. She wishes she could be here with us, but the body's not willing. She has to have her walker. She can't sit in the car for 4 or 5 hours, and so it just wasn't really an option to bring her down here. But she sends her love to all of you folks, and she is doing very well. She's very happy. She likes her life, and so it's a great thing, but we wish she could have been here too. And boy, do I have help here.
I think he needs help. He needs the bathroom.
We're going to go to a potty break here. Come on, Army.
He's fighting.
Hey, he's all right. He's my buddy Mark. I do want to thank, especially, of course, all of my wonderful kids. They arranged this, Todd, Ben, and Carrie, and their spouses. But they put a lot of effort. You all got to save the date about 18 months ago. Betty was so excited, she booked the flight for last June.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
All this planning and execution is on them. They've done a great job. It's a nice evening. Carrie was in charge of weather, and boy, did she do a fantastic job.
She was in charge of everything.
True, she usually is. Now, unfortunately, there is a downside to a 50th reunion, and that is so many of our friends are really old. And so you folks here are hearty, healthy, and we appreciate that. Like we lost 4 couples this week to various family incidences, and I want to reference a couple. He just couldn't get away from his chemo treatments to get down here, so he and his wife Mary would have loved to have been here, so that's very unfortunate. And then, I'm not good at this. No, my college roommate Jim Stetzer, who sent the emails out saying how much he was looking forward. He's out in Seattle. Fortunately, we saw him just a year ago. But he really wanted to come to see all you, and both Jeff was in my wedding and Jim was in my wedding, and they all wanted to be here. Well, Jim's wife has early onset dementia, and she's okay, but she just couldn't make this trip, and so he's fighting that. So just keep them in your thoughts, please. Now, enough about that. Back to the party. I just want to introduce, you all know each other, but again, my kids are special, and they're here with theirs, our Sibs, Carol and Joseph over here. You all know them, and of course Bill and Pat, and Betty and Kirk and Rick, and Ann couldn't make it. She had another conflict, unfortunately, but they've been to all the weddings, and most of you have seen them multiple times, so that's fantastic. And then also from our wedding, my buddy George, there he is, Wilms. George was from Kalamazoo, and Gay actually worked with his original wife, but George was at our wedding, and George has been a great friend of mine for, about 48 years. ML is with him now, and she's just delightful. He lives up in North Carolina. We formed a golf group with Eddie about 30-some years ago, and we just had a lot of fun traveling around the country, playing a lot of golf. And Wilps, thank you for coming down. This is kind of in chronological order. Ed and Bonnie, Ed and I worked together at Alcoa in Atlanta. He brought Bonnie down from Pittsburgh and got married, and we've been good friends for 47 years. Ray and I go back to Hartsville, great friends at Sunoco, and then up in Philadelphia, still fantastic friends of ours. And then you got Vicki Altabelli. Everybody knows Vicki. Vicki also came with Sunoco products, so we met her early. We actually met her in a Sunday school class, which if you know Vicki and us, it's kind of surprising, especially on Vicki's part. But that's true. We met in the Sunday school class and really hit it off. And so she's been a long friend for about 30 plus years. And we have Jack and Barbara McEwen representing our Lake Adger friends, several of whom had health conflicts.
When do we get paid?
They're fantastic folks, and we actually have a car club. They've got a dumpy Corvette, but we have a car club and all convertibles. And it's actually awesome. We do road trips up into the Smoky Mountains and on the parkways and everything. Spend a night or two.
Give them a real name.
Oh, the Topless Club. And we'll spend a couple nights at a bed and breakfast and have great times. They're fantastic people, so be sure you talk to them as well. And I wouldn't be a party without Craig and Kathy Sloan. Now, they were a little bit newcomers to us, but they're awesome. And if you were at the Decatur wedding, you know how wonderful and the type of parties they can throw. So they're just wonderful. They moved down to Charlotte several years back, and that's allowed us to really bond. We get together multiple times a year, and they're both fantastic. So, and of course, they gave us Jill, who is just wonderful. And last but not least, I hope I haven't missed anybody, but Calder and Aaron. Calder is our second sister, our second daughter. She and Carrie roomed together at high school, at the governor's school, and then at the University of Illinois. So she's been a part of the family now for a long time. And they're up in Asheville, actually, with a marvelous architectural business that they have formed. And that's wonderful that they did that and are doing well. And here they are. So now the only other thing I want to do is make a small toast to the most important person here tonight. My perfect wife, Kay. I mean, I'm the perfect example of marrying up, am I not? You look up marrying up in the dictionary, my picture's there, believe me. We met at a freshman mixer at the University of Michigan 54 years ago, and I was rather smitten. She wasn't very convinced. It took a little while to sink in, but then, you know, if things worked out, we've had a wonderful life, wonderful kids, and all of you have been significant in contributing to our happiness over all these last 50 years plus. So thank you for coming. Love you all. Uh-oh. And that's the last thing you can believe about anything you hear. So I think we want to adjourn to upstairs.
No, we're not adjourning. You've got some words of wisdom from somebody who's been married 57 years, except to different women. My name is Joseph Bachmeyer Fields. Carol is Miss Carol Fields Bachmeyer. And in the last couple of years, I've had the good fortune of being able to study psychologically, because that's kind of one of my hobbies. The couple that were just, the guy that just left you with tears in his eyes. But, you know, what is it that makes a successful marriage? And as I look at these two guys, I think I found it. And you may agree with me, and I hope you do. What I've found is, even in their communication, which sometimes is pretty snazzy and snappy, there's a love that goes on between them that doesn't stop there. It's then shared, not just with family, but with neighbors, and then old neighbors, and then old people that work with their careers. There's not a person I think I've ever heard from either one of them that they don't love. That means everything from California to Maine, from Florida to Michigan. These people, if we can all take that model, Carol and I are a little late in trying to do this, but if we could take that model of saying, love each other with all your heart and love one another, what a lesson for us. Thank you.
Hey, Ben, everybody knows me. I know everybody here. It's good to see everyone. And so Carrie did do most of the planning for the party, but it's kind of emblematic that I was in charge of the band. They were late, so maybe a little irresponsible, but awesome. And so I'm really only here to introduce the next act. Before I do want to say cheers to 50 years. And so everybody raise your glass and a toast to Mom and Dad. But I do have an introduction quickly to make. Our parents have always been a great example to my brother and sister, and now and in the last several years they've also been a great example to our grandkids, their grandkids, our kids, who are going to come up and do a quick song that they wrote with their grandparents.
Audrey!
I'll take a step back, so it's not. No, we're not singing.
Just that one.
Wow. Alright, how do I everyone get close?
Cheer.
One. Surrounded by mountains.